talking about tonight's Mumbai-Hyderabad game, we must remind you of last night's cracker between Kerala Blasters and Odisha. And this magician, Adrian Luna, who set it up so very nicely for the Blasters and for Ivan Vukomanovic's return. Social media has spoken. And welcome to Let's Football. We've got Paul Macefield in the hot seat. What about your reaction to last night's game?
Wow.
Incredible. Best of the season so far?
It was dramatic. It was really, really dramatic. I mean, you turn around and I thought Odisha were in control of that game, particularly in that first half, but that never say die spirit from the Blasters and the way that they came back. You know, obviously Diamantakos coming on is really what spurred them on and gave them that focal point going forwards, which they were lacking. But Luna, you can't argue with the magician.
Cannot argue. Cannot even play with the magician. Because sometimes he was unplayable, and that means Kerala Blasters joined on top of the table with FC Goa. And we have one of our first live callers on the show tonight. Siddharth, who lives in Bombay but is firmly, his heart is set with the Manyapara, is on the line with us. Siddharth, your reaction on last night's remarkable result?
Well, it was a dream come true moment for every KBFC fan, especially our Ashan is back. So, you know, it was a very special moment for us that, you know, this kind of match was there. And, you know, really, really happy. I cannot express how happy the entire fan base is.
Were you slightly worried when Odisha scored the first goal that you might not get the result
definitely.
you wanted?
Yes, definitely. We were all scared, you know, when that happened. But yes, you know, our players, we had confidence in Luna, and we knew that each and every player are giving their 100% on the field, and we were confident they will come back.
Siddharth, not many people get this chance, but you have it. You can ask Paul Macefield a couple of questions. Remember, he's always right, so make sure your questions are decent enough. Go for it, Siddharth. You're on the line with Mace now.
So I've got a couple of questions. My first question is, even after many KBFC players are out due to injuries and suspensions, KBFC still defeated a very tough Sergio Lovera team. So there are many players who will be coming back after these suspensions. So how do you see this team going forward in the competition?
I see it as a great headache for Ivan Vukomanovic, because what happens is when somebody misses out, somebody gets a chance and an opportunity. And doing what they did yesterday and performing, particularly in that second half, the way that they did, it means that Ivan Vukomanovic is either going to have to drop a player or two to bring back the other players, or he can keep with the same. And you ask any manager will turn around to you and say, I want all my players playing well. And didn't they do well? They played really, really well yesterday. So those players that have been brought in now have to get Vukomanovic to make a big, big decision.
Do you have another question?
My second question.
Yes, carry on.
Yes. My second question would be, in previous seasons, you know, all teams used to enjoy playing at the Kallur Stadium.
Yep, why not? It's brilliant. The atmosphere, everything. I mean, you just see the fans, the way that they come in. They're in there in their droves. They absolutely love it. And you can see it's just a sea of yellow. It's the only place I know in Asia where literally every fan comes in with the same home team shirt on. And it really is. And I've been all over Asia watching football, but I've never seen 35,000 people in yellow shirts week in, week out.
Fantastic. So that hopefully your questions were answered. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to hear back from you very soon. So that was Siddharth, one of our first live call-ins. But Mace, coming back to, you know, not just last night's result, but even this match week, it is a turning point in the season.
Mental is the only way to describe it. North East scoring in the 94th and the 98th minute tells you that they've got that never say die attitude. Jamshedpur look comfortable. They look firm. The week didn't start off too well with Bengaluru and Goa, but I think Bengaluru did not want to lose. Goa just lacked that cutting edge going forward. So it's up to these two big guns today to go out and do the business and give us an entertaining game.
Des Buckingham's least favourite fixture is upon us. Mumbai have not won any of their last 5 games against Hyderabad, but that was Manolo's Hyderabad. This one is Thangboi and Nest is Hyderabad. And there is a huge difference. Akash Mishra, of course, facing against his old side.
Yeah, that's right. We interviewed him a little bit earlier on. I'm sure we're going to hear from him throughout the game as well. And don't forget, Vignesh, the other left back, went the other way. So the two left backs changing clubs, but Des Buckingham has changed his shirt back. He's in the white shirt tonight.
Look at what the fans think. Can Mumbai City retain the shield this season? 68% saying no.
It's a tough one. It is going to be a tough one because no one's done it back to back like that, in that sort of sense of what he's going to actually want and what he's going to actually do. Obviously now there's been ramifications to that game against the Kerala Blasters. Griffiths receiving a one-match ban from the AIFF. Obviously Prabir Das got a 3-game ban for his reactions and the way that he was talking to the referee and the officials. It was a bad, ill-tempered game, but it was a game that showed Mumbai know how to scrap to win a game. So they will be there or thereabouts come the end of the season, but you do have to say the squad that everybody looks at and the team to beat this season, without a doubt, is Mohan Bagan.
Wow, Mohan Bagan, and they did set the standards very early on. It's a good word, that scrap. It's part of the evolution of a side. Yes, there was beautiful football last season and Des Buckingham expected to entertain. He has an entertaining setup tonight with El Khayati starting. But now that word scrap, they have to grind out results.
No, but they've shown that they can do it now. So that's going to be the big positive that Des takes out of this. Going forwards, they're going to cause all sorts of problems and issues as well. Stuart, Al Khayati and Apuya in the middle, but Diaz through the middle is the one.
We spoke earlier with Des Buckingham and Akash Mishra.
Hi Des, good to see you. Obviously you had that trip back from the Asian Champions League the other day. Has the mood in the camp been down or has it been buoyed this week?
I think you have to put things in context, and we very much at the start of the season tried to make sure we separated those two competitions. You know, we know the level, 40 best teams in Asia, and we've picked out a very tough group and a hard group, but we've shown we can compete both individually and as a team at that level. But coming back to the ISL domestically, we've played 3 games. We've won 2, we've drawn 1. We've scored the same amount of goals, we've conceded the same amount of goals, but we're 2 points better off 3 games into this season than we were last. So we're actually better placed despite all of the travel that we've had with the Champions League, which is a credit to the players, the medical team staff and Danny Deegan, the S&C. So yeah, we're in a good place, and the players need to recognise that, and they have. And it's about making sure that we do what we did now last year, and that's to kick on from here.
It is your best start personally at Mumbai, but is it difficult to prepare the side against a team that's at the bottom of the table, who you know at some stage are going to have a reaction?
I think if anyone's naive enough to look at the table right now and think that's where people are going to finish, they haven't been in football very long. You know, you see Bengaluru as a prime example. Last year, even, you know, many other leagues around the world, but teams will come good at some point, we know that. And even in the 3 games that Hyderabad have played, they've lost by 1 goal, but they've played very well. We're aware of that. We've made some changes tonight ourselves to try and address that and make sure that we stay on top of our game whilst making sure we stay fresh. And it's about making sure that we approach this game the same way we approached the Al Hilal one, which is full focus on making sure we play the way we want and making sure we try and stop them picking up anything here.
I was just going to ask you that. You've got no Griffiths, no Van Neath. Will it mean not only the tweak in the personnel, but will it alter the way that you play, because you do now have a 2nd, 3rd, 4th different option of way of playing?
Yeah, we made some change. So it's Thierry will come in for Rostin, and that's a good, you know, it's a good swap, whether it's Thierry or it's Rostin in at centre back. Apuya drops back down to the 6th role, where, you know, he's been very good for us further forwards. But again, it's now about time to recognise how good he is in that 6th role and giving him the chance to play there. And that naturally allows now Al Khayati, who we've been building up very cautiously and slowly over the last 5 weeks, to build him to get ready to start. So what you'll see tonight is Al Khayati with Greg, Diaz, Vikram and Jante in the front line. So it's just making sure now, even with the changes, that players are aware of what they're doing, because in the final third, certainly, we've got a lot of firepower and creativity.
You certainly have. All the best for the 3 points tonight, Des.
Thanks a lot, Mark. Mark, sorry. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark's just said hi.
Yeah, cheers.
Good luck for tonight.
Cheers, mate.
Hi Akash, great to see you this season, and you're in the blue of Mumbai. How have you settled in Mumbai?
If you'll ask me, it was a little bit difficult for me, but knowing the players from before, some of them I trained in national team, and some of were my teammates in I-League time. So it was kind of a quick switch for me, but now I'm trying to adapt in the style of play which Mumbai City plays, and I feel it's good for me.
You're up against your old club, Hyderabad, where you were last season. How does that feel? Because they gave you your break in football.
Yeah, if you ask me, it's a special feeling for me playing against them, because I know all of them. I share a lot of memories with them. But in my mind, I go like any other game today again, and I'll try to give my 100% for the club, and then we are aiming for the 3 points.
You obviously had the Champions League earlier this week. How has the mood in the camp been after the defeat?
It is difficult when you lose by such big margin, but I think we are the only ones to blame, and we have to back it ourselves, and we have to put a good performance now, and we have to forget that and focus on today's game.
Brilliant. Thanks for your time, Akash. All the best today.
Thank you so much.
Akash Mishra, and bigger team, more expectation. Does Jai Gupta's performance, or emergence rather, is it the right tonic for him, right timing for him to up his game as well?
And Mohamed Salah, let's put it that way. There are a couple of left backs coming to the fore, and Akash will have to stay on top of his game if he wants to be on that plane flying to Qatar for the Asia Cup. I mean, he's put himself in the frame. We know that over the past couple of seasons with the performances, but you have to keep that consistency level now, because other players are knocking on the door and they want his ticket to get to Qatar.
You played as a fullback, but the expectation these days, Mace, from a modern fullback, goals, assists.
Well, you're saying I was an old fullback.
How many assists did you have? I don't think you were counting
I had
your
loads of assists.
Loads of assists.
I had loads of assists. I played in a wing-back system when I was at Stockport.
Talking about loads of assists, this is a man who's had loads of assists, but he hasn't really got going this season.
Not yet, hasn't triggered, hasn't fired. I think that what's happened as well is that players in the other clubs and other teams are starting to work him out a little bit more, so that they're showing him into different areas. He's not getting as much space as he did, particularly in that first season where he was absolutely awesome with a double-double, 10 goals, 10 assists. It was absolutely fantastic. But for me, we'll now see him get better as the season goes on, because he will start looking for those little pockets of space, going into those little holes and looking to cause all sorts of problems.
Apuya as well continues to keep scoring under Des Buckingham, but you wanted to make a point. His performance in the Champions League, what about that?
I thought it was good. I thought he played really, really well. There was no doubt about that. And I think Des, when he did the interview there, said about Apuya playing as a 6. That's what he's going to do today. He's going to play him in that holding role, which will allow Stewart and Al-Kayati to go forwards. That goal, let me tell you, that goal takes bravery. That takes guts, because you know you're going to get punched in the face. And he was. But he's a young man who doesn't care. All he wants is to win. And when you want to win and you have that passion and desire, you will go and attack that ball, even if he's going to take your head off. The keeper nearly took his head off, but he got his goal. And that was a vital goal for Mumbai.
A nastiness that he had to add to his game. That is the word he used when he joined Des Buckingham. That, yes, that's what he's demanding from me. Get in there. But what about this man? He cannot stop scoring. Pereira Diaz, he's a hustler.
He is, isn't he? I mean, he's just unbelievable. He just seems to pop up in the right place at the right time. A couple of his goals this year have been ugly. I mean, they've been ugly, but you've got to be in there. And look at that. I mean, he's took a swing for it. It's come off the side of his leg and gone in the back of the net. But sometimes you'd rather be lucky than good. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but what I'm saying is it's good he's getting into those positions, and that little bit of luck is coming his way. That was brilliant, because he attacked in front of the defender and he got himself in front of that defender, and that's vitally important. And again there, he's just getting in between defenders. Thinks he's going to get clattered, that one comes off his shoulder. That little bit of luck, because he took his eye off the ball for a fraction. Another one, a yard out, bundles it in the back of the net. Doesn't matter. The end result is I've got a goal next to my name and we win a game. And that is exactly what Pereira Diaz is all about. And his work rate off the ball.
Most informed striker right now, along with the likes of Petratos and Jason Cummings. Mumbai City and Hyderabad, they've played quite a few games. That 3-all last season as well. But this is Manolo's Hyderabad. We keep saying that the change is, it's so distinct, it's so evident.
Well, that 3-all was obviously, I mean, it was played at the Balawadi, wasn't it? It was played at Pune. It was the opening game of their seasons, and it was tough. I think we expected a little bit more from Mumbai, because they steamrolled ahead actually, and Hyderabad pitched them back. But with no Manolo there this season, we are seeing a different system. We're seeing a different change, and we're seeing a different Hyderabad.
And we've been asking all of you fans, questions on social media, on Instagram and on Twitter. Go out there, make yourself heard. Can Hyderabad get their first win today? 60% saying yes.
Well, I'm part of the 40% because I do think that Mumbai are a little bit too strong today, not even on paper, but just the performances and what they create. I think Hyderabad have been lacking a striker, and we did ask that question.
We did ask that question, and here are the answers from the Hyderabad camp.
Hi, Thangboi. As each game comes and goes and you haven't got that win yet, does the pressure increase dramatically on you and the team?
I think we live and work as football coaches, on the pressure. Unfortunately, I think the 3 games has been quite tight, I would say. And credit to the boys. I think they've really worked hard. Performances-wise, we can say that I think we've done quite well. But the results has been not on us. So tight matches. Well, today's a big game for us. Hopefully something good will happen today, Paul.
Was the lack of the goals and the lack of creating chances and opportunities the biggest problem that you face? Will we see like a Moya start because he came on in the last game?
Yeah, I think we've been speaking about the final third issues with the players, and that's the area we've been working, for the players too. I think hopefully, we take from the training ground and hopefully, do it today in terms of creating and hopefully nick a goal or 2.
Thangboi, you mentioned in the press conference yesterday about the system and the players understanding the system. Is it going to take a little bit more time, or are they nearly there?
I think, specific individuals who are brought, I think a probable sort of a starting 11 players. I think, once they come in, I think in terms of strategies, in terms of the players' information for them, I think it is clear and loud. I think they do understand. It's just about, having that confidence more and, doing that thing as a team in the field. That's the area, yeah.
Well, thanks for your time, Thangboi. All the best today for the 3 points.
Thank you, Mes.
यासिर, एक नया कोचिंग स्टाफ, मतलब नए टैक्टिक्स, पुराने सिस्टम से कितना अलग है ये सिस्टम?
अलग तो नहीं है हम लोग का, मतलब ये नया कोच भी अच्छा है, मतलब जो लास्ट ईयर का कोच है वो सिस्टम में थोड़ा सा डिफरेंस है, और हम लोग का ये कोच थोड़ा प्रेसिंग फुटबॉल खेलते हैं, यही है।
और उसी के साथ ही साथ इस नए टैक्टिक्स और पोजीशंस के साथ क्या आपकी पोजीशन और रोल भी चेंज हुए हैं यासिर?
काफ़ी चेंज तो नहीं है, मतलब जो लास्ट ईयर से खेल रहा था वही पोजीशन में खिला रहे हैं मेरे को, सो ये सही।
ठीक है, और लास्टली 3 गेम्स 3 लॉसेस, क्या अब टीम पे थोड़ा प्रेशर आता हुआ वो विन ढूंढने के लिए?
हाँ, प्रेशर तो आ रहा है, मतलब कंटिन्यूस 3 गेम हार रहा है, फिर हम लोग अच्छे से प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं, सब लोग प्रैक्टिस में एफर्ट डाल रहे हैं, सो आज के लिए बहुत मतलब टफ गेम है। टीम मुंबई टीम भी अच्छा है, फिर हम लोग 3 पॉइंट के लिए वो फाइट करेगा 90 मिनट।
गुड लक यासिर फॉर टुडे, आई होप यू गेट द विन।
थैंक यू सो मच।
We all know who Robin is backing. He hopes Hyderabad wins.
I'll tell you what, he's seen the referee's name, and that referee actually sent him off. He's the last person to
And he
send
was
off
on the
in the
bench.
game. And Robin was on the bench, wasn't actually even on the playing pitch. But this Hyderabad side, I mean, because obviously Robin played for Hyderabad as well. No changes, and I'm not surprised because I think Thangboi knows that these players have given a lot. But the one surprise, if I'm saying about a surprise, where's Moya? Where's that striker? Where are the goals going to come from? Who is the focal point? That's the biggest problem for me that Hyderabad face at the moment. But they're going to keep it tight by playing Alanis at the back with Sana.
Well, Yasir says that there's not a lot of change in the approach, apart from the fact that this is more high-pressure football. No pun intended. He also did accept that there is pressure on the team to get the win. But your expert's opinion on how the last season was different in the way they were playing compared to this season, the 3 games that you've seen them play?
Coach. As simple as that. The coach has a different philosophy, has a different mentality. They have gone back now to a 4-2-3-1, which is what they were playing last year. So when they say about the players trying to grasp a system, they might be want to try and change and chop 1 or 2 different ways of getting the ball forwards quickly, getting others into play quickly. So it does take a little bit of time sometimes.
The old guard of Hyderabad still exists. Yao Victor, Sana Singh, Yasir, Nikhil Pujari. There are these players in there. Those are his numbers. slightly slow start for them as well. But does it get frustrating sometimes when 4 or 5 players sit down and say, oh, that used to be, in those days we were winning games because we did that. Should we do this? Should we do that?
You go and play your game, but what you do is you play within the parameters that the coach gives you. So if you feel that you need to do something extra in the game, you may try and do it, and if you get away with it, okay. But the second then that the coach starts standing up saying, I don't want you to do that, if you keep doing that, you'll get dragged off. So you have to follow what the coach says. It can be frustrating, but you can drop in and do 1 or 2 little things here and there that you feel would enhance the game, because football's all about decisions. You've got to make a decision. When the ball comes to you, do you trap it? Do you control it? Do you pass it first time? What do? You've got to make instant decisions, and that's what you can always put it down to.
We have seen overhauls, and we've seen so many of them in Indian football. That's how it has worked. Now it's getting more stable. And Jamshedpur and Northeast have gone through overhauls, and they've shown a certain template. Hyderabad going through a certain overhaul. Do they have something to learn from those 2 teams?
Well, they started like this season, right? When they first started as Hyderabad. Then they brought Manolo in. So again, it's all about personnel. It's about recruitment. And we're not just on about the players. We're on about behind the scenes. We're on about the staff. We're on about the coach. We're on about the fitness coach. We heard Des talking about his backroom staff and how he's been working, but they've been working with the team as well. It's vitally important from top to bottom. The person that carries the kit, the person that cleans the boots, the person that washes the kit and gives it your back all ironed and that, down to the players and the management. It has to be a togetherness. And when you do a big transition, we've seen it with the Northeast, as you said, this year, where they've chopped and changed everything from the top to the bottom of the club. Maybe that's where Hyderabad need to go. Well, they've tried to do it by bringing in 2 coaches, working as a unit and as a team, Kanan Esther, of course, and Thangboi Singto. So they are trying to do something that will work for them.
Yeah, Victor, you saw him score those goals against Mumbai City. He is the top scorer in this fixture. Personally likes playing them, but he might be missing some players as well in terms of the support that he had in previous Hyderabad sides.
Well, I've always said, and I've said it after the last game, what we're missing is a focal point up front. They missed a Bartok Becce. It was there for everyone to see. But then, the lad comes on and you just think all of a sudden, maybe he's going to be the answer, Moya, the striker. But they haven't started with him. So it's interesting for me going into this game. I think Hyderabad want to start to keep things solid initially to start with. Maybe they'll expand and open up a little bit more as the game progresses and goes on.
El Kayati and Greg Stewart in tandem tonight. What do you make of that?
It could be wow, or it could be uh-oh. It really could, because you've got 2 wonderful players when they're on the ball that can create all sorts of problems and issues for defences. But what I'm worried about now is the tracking back, because they're going to have to do the dirty work as well as the nice work. And the dirty work is getting back, putting the challenges in and making sure that your defence is covered.
Look at that fixture, 20 December, Mumbai City, Mohan Bagan. That is the game of the season from last year, of course. Pereira Diaz with a 41% ownership. My captain in this week. Sana Singh, 9% ownership. A lot of people are expecting a clean sheet.
Well, they have kept things tight. They've only been beaten by the odd goal, and that then all of a sudden tells you that they are defending well as a team and as a unit. So that's why people are picking Sana Singh, but you'd be daft if you didn't pick him or Adrian Luna, Pereira Diaz and Adrian Luna.
Is he your captain, Pereira Diaz, tonight?
I think so. I hope so. I don't know if my team changed back from last week.
No wonder you didn't become a head coach.
No, but Mauricio scored yesterday.
This is where you can watch the game, Mumbai City up against Hyderabad across the board. Exciting, and not just for Mumbai City, even for Hyderabad. If they get that result, it can kickstart their season.
Huge game for them tonight. We saw what it's done for Chennai.
So then, Mumbai City up against Hyderabad coming up very soon. Switch over to the telly.
Jersey number